Welcome to the final part of Solo Apocalypse Challenge. So after clearing almost everything Lawson has to offer, I went to Nerud. Luckily I had this Dark Horizon area, which is the new DLC, because I don't really like the original Nerud area at all, so this was a nice refreshment to this campaign. There really isn't much to explore on this new Nerud, because you could really run to the boss without having any boss in between. But I still wanted to clear some of the dungeons to get extra loot and stuff for the character. Here's a secret area where you can find one of the mini bosses and get one muter and a nice melee weapon.
Nice.
On my first dungeon I had Spectrum Nexus, which meant the Custodian's Eye. It wasn't really that hard to defeat honestly, because I've played against these bosses many times in boss rushes and in other people's campaigns. So this was like my third try when I beat this boss actually. It wasn't the first at least. Fuck. Vittu kun toi ei koko ajan weak spotti. Se on aina silloin kun se hyökkää, niin silloin vasta. Menee laitteet kiinni kun... After they nerfed the Huntmaster as sniper, Widowmaker became really fast my favorite weapon in this game, because you can just shoot once, run a little bit, shoot once, run a little bit, and just keep doing that, and you're pretty good to go with that strategy, almost with every boss actually. Yes. Great point. Then again, I noticed I had quite lots of materials, so I went back to Ward 13 to upgrade my gear again for the who knows millionth time. I don't know if you're interested in these upgrading parts of the video, but I still wanted to include like nearly everything I did in this challenge, so you know where we're going. This is actually one of those dungeons that I really wanted to include in this video, because for the first time in this challenge I had to put some armor on and sweep my Daredevil's charm to 0 hour I found earlier from Nerud, and I couldn't really pass this with the Daredevil's charm and without having any armor, because these small areas, especially the last area in the train, is really pain in the ass. There are so many sentry bots coming and a couple of those elite enemies, so that's why I had to take extra step to clear this. This was the car where I died lots of times. I probably tried to beat this terminus station more than 5 times, I believe, and this time I actually was able to do it, because I was so efficient at clearing all these enemies one by one. Also, you can get pretty much overwhelmed by all of these sentries, because you can realize how tiny bit there's any cover in this car. Like 0 at all. By those doors there's a couple of corners you can use, but there's literally not anything you can use for your advantage. Have to say this was the hardest normal dungeon I had to go through in this whole campaign until this point, but wait until the Earth. Then, before Nerud's final boss, the Alepsis Thor, I went back to Ward 13 again to upgrade my Widowmaker, the Slayer Mutator, and even poked some XP bundles for the Earth, which was coming next. Alepsis Thora is probably one of my favorite bosses in the whole game, or at least belongs in top 3, because of how unique he is compared to the others, and also you can counter him pretty easily with the Widowmaker, because he has the weak spot exposed nearly all the time. And the dodging nearly has to be pixel perfect in case to defeat Alepsis Thora, otherwise it's one mistake and he kills you without any mercy. I'm pretty familiar with Alepsis Thora, because I've played against him so many times in the boss rush. But still, I never have defeated him without taking any hit. That's one of my milestones actually, to defeat every boss in the game without taking any hit. I'll make a video about that when I achieve that.
Mitä vittua tapahtuu? Yes.
Now my mission to get all the segments from the worlds is complete, and I can go back to the labyrinth, to Clementine and the Keeper to open the portal to the Earth. Then it was time to prepare a little bit until going to the earth. I was able to upgrade my Slayer Mutere, buy another Dragon Heart, and upgrade a little bit my weapons. Then it was time to start the earth, and I was able to make it to the first difficult wave area. There's lots of Demogorgons coming, and a couple of those flower enemies, and the mini venom. This place can be sometimes really frustrating because they can overwhelm you quite easily, and the mini venom is quite tanky and does so much damage, so you need to look out for him. It's really important that you keep an eye on all the enemies at once, because every single enemy, especially the elite ones, are so fast that you cannot outrun any of them. If you lose the track on somebody, it's going to be really painful for you. So that's why keep an eye on all the enemies at once if you can. It can be a little bit difficult at times, because there's few of these artillery demogorgons that like to go underground nearly all the time, then they just pick up and shoot a couple of grenades at you. And when they're on the ground, they're having huge damage reduction. You can still hit them with bullets and stuff, but they're not gonna take nearly any damage from that. And when it comes to this mini venom, it's quite easy to loop him around these open cars, around this train yard, because he's really slow when he doesn't have line of sight to you, so you can just peek a little bit and then shoot like the edges of his hitbox. Here's a nice tip actually that I wanted to show you. So there's this little pond kind of area where you have to drop down to, and you can actually provoke all of these demogorgons when you like stand at the very last pixel of this ledge. So all the demogorgons gonna attack you at once, and then you can just kill them all. And they cannot climb this little ledge to you, so you can just defeat them with ease. Before the cancer fight, I went to upgrade my Widowmaker to the max level, because I've gathered enough materials to do that. Most Remnant players probably agree with this, that the cancer is the easiest boss on Earth, but it still took me really long actually to defeat him. And I believe the main reason to that was the thick skin, so I cannot crit hit him at all, nearly ever. And he's casting these little branches on the ground, so I have to break those all the time. And yes, my World's Edge sword is also doing damage to cancer when I do that, but it doesn't do that much damage, so... And it's good to know that his weak spot is in his back. So I'm just getting regular hits nearly all the time.
Onks mä vittu ohi? Mä yllättynyt, että toi ei osunut. Mitä? Miten toi tehnyt damaa?
Also it took me many tries to defeat Cancer, cause he was just draining all my stamina all the time, and cause I don't have that recovery trait, which regenerates my stamina faster, I was really screwed in this fight. My stamina was nearly at 0 all the time.
Fuck. Ei vittu. Fuck.
One out of 3 bosses defeated. Then before the ravaged engine room, there are these little corridors and cave areas. There are the most enemies compared to the other places you can find in this game. And the enemies just keep spawning. There are these AT-AT Walker kind of things that summon lots of Demogorgons. And the Demogorgons, I don't know if it's a glitch or not, but they tend to spawn sometimes, like constantly, and they just don't stop doing that. So this was one of those areas I was really afraid of to go through. I've had trouble many times going through this area in different campaigns. You can pretty much see how overwhelmed I'm getting by all of these enemies, especially these artillery Demogorgons, because they just keep hanging underground nearly all the time, and I cannot kill them with ease. And when there are these normal enemies coming with them, I cannot focus on them at all. I have to kill the normal ones first, and then dodge their projectiles, and it's not easy at all. And they just keep spawning, from my behind all the time, and from all of these holes and stuff, I'm just getting mauled by these.
Kiva kun edes taas kerran toi vitun demo. Siis mun oikeesti tarvitsisi päästä tästä vaan läpi.
Now when I cleared nearly everybody from this area, it's time to attack the Volkers again. And when the Volkers die, the Demogorgons stop spawning. So that's my key point I have to accomplish to get through this area. I tried to clear all the enemies in a legit way, like 3 times or so, and it took me like 15 minutes each try because of that one Volker cave. Then I just planned, what if I just run through all of these? I've never done it before, and I was swapping a little bit of my gear to make it possible. I put the Seal of Empress to have more armor and health, Colgate Eyelet to boost my stamina, recover a little bit, and then I believe I had Hardened Coil to get like 15% of damage reduction. And I was actually able to do it first try. It wasn't difficult at all. And just like that we made it to the checkpoint, and now we have to complete the Ravaged Engine Room, which is much easier than the Train Yard. That is our first objective on Earth. You can just keep looping all of these enemies on the staircases and vaulting over the rails and stuff. After the Ravaged Engine Room, there isn't really much to explore until you discover Venom himself. He was pretty much my hardest boss to go through in this whole game. And you cannot practice against him in the boss rush at all, because for some reason the Earth bosses aren't in the boss rush. So I have probably the least experience fighting Cancer and Venom for this reason. And during this fight I was really pissed because I never had time to level up my gunslinger to get the ammo reserve trait. My ammo was constantly like at 0 and I had to still go through this boss, and it was really painful and slow at the same time.
Mä pelästyin, että toi osuu vielä. Mitä vittua, mä oon keskellä dotkee.
Here I try to hit him with the world's edge, because I'm running low on ammo. Even though this boss fight was very long due to my low ammo, I knew I still could get through this because of the world's edge. Because it was literally like a projectile I could shoot at him.
Jos mulla ois vittu Infinite Ammo Necklace, niin vittu tää ois niin paljon helpompaa.
I just imagine if Venom had the Regenerator buff, which was causing trouble during the first final boss on Yeisha, the Corruptor. That was the most painful experience I've had in the whole game, probably. That was horrible. And it was a new character, so I couldn't do anything about it. But luckily, He didn't have anything but empathy, and I could heal with my healing shot mod, so that wasn't really a problem at all. Finally, Venom was slain, and it took me like 2 tries, or 3, if I'm not mistaken. Cancer took me more than tries than Venom. That's what I can confess.
Näytä tuottavan tulosta. Niin testataan.
After Venom, it was time for the final boss of the game, the Annihilation, and I went to Ward 13 to buy some extra health bottle and to swap a little bit of my gear. I wasn't really threatened to go against the Annihilation, because I've beat this boss many times, quite flawlessly without taking too many hits, so I was really chilled and relaxed when fighting him. You can pretty much see how much damage I'm making with the max level Widowmaker to Annihilation. I had some nice damage rings and an amulet, which was the Daredevil's charm of course, because I don't have any armor on. And the Slayer Mutator is boosting my shots quite a bit. I didn't get that to max level, but it still was quite useful. After beating Annihilation many times in this game, I wasn't really threatened about any of his attack patterns at all. Yet in this second phase, he still summons those orange orbs every now and then, and he starts to do that constantly when we get his health about to 50% HP or so. That's probably his hardest attack pattern. There's going to be so many of those orange orbs later on, so if you are not efficient of clearing those, you're going to die. Or at least waste your catering or the challenger instapick that I currently am using for my character. Widowmaker really shines in this boss fight as Annihilation has his weak spot exposed in his head in both of the phases all the time, so you can pretty much have max damage every shot you shoot. This is the attack pattern I was talking about earlier, so if you're not efficient at clearing these orange orbs, you're going to get overwhelmed by these with ease. And it's really easy to fail at doing that, since they keep teleporting to the sides a little bit, and if you have a magazine that has like 1 or 3 bullets, and you keep missing your shots, it's going to suck for you a lot. And then you just have to dodge all of them. See, I didn't clear enough of them, so I wasted my catering there. The dodging window is also quite gimmicky when the orange orbs are launching towards you. It's really not that simple to dodge those, but with practice it becomes a lot easier, of course. So it's gonna take a little bit of time to get used to that. Here I lose my challenger instapick, because I wasn't really prepared for the swing. But it's really easy to know when he's going to swing without the sound, because if you just keep looking at the boss, and when you see that his arm is moving, then it's your time to dodge, and you dodge that perfectly. It's not a big deal at all.
Au. Noi ei sentään saatu paljon.
And just like that I was able to defeat Annihilation with the second try actually. And the Solo Apocalypse challenge is now over. There were lots of difficulties along the way, especially the Corruptor on Yeisha and failing on Lawson. But in the end, this challenge was so much fun, and I'm looking forward to seeing what other challenges there is I could do. I hope you really enjoyed this mini-series, because I had a blast while doing this challenge. Sometimes it's just really nice to push your hardest to beat something, and that's what I accomplished here.
Yes!
Leave a like if you like this video, and I'll see you in the next one. GG's!